Let me teach you the principle or concept of two-step time management. Number one, identify what is important. But for this session, let me skip that first step and begin with the second step, which is choosing blue chips activities. Choosing blue chips activities. Some activities bring us satisfaction and take us closer to our goals and objectives. Others are simply overheads, things that have to get done, but do not contribute much to our progress. One of the most powerful time management skills is the ability to identify the difference between satisfaction and overhead. To evaluate the activities of our lives, we can put them into chips categories as follows. Blue chips, high payoffs that can lead directly to your priorities. Red chips, activities that contribute to the achievement or accomplishment of your goals that could be done by someone else. White chips, activities that consume time with a little payoff. These time robbers may seem urgent. They have little to do with your priorities and should be eliminated from your daily routine. The biggest loss of effectiveness can be derived from focusing not on our priorities instead of choosing the activities and behaviors that will have the biggest return. We are creatures of habit and often do what lies in front of us, white chips, rather than look for blue chips activities. Here is an easy formula for identifying your priorities. Blue chips, do it. Red chips, delegate it. White chips, ignore it. The two areas of blue chips activities. Number one, planning. The difference between average players and high achievers is the amount of time they spend on blue chips or highly productive activities. The primary tool for blue chips activity is to have a to-do list, prioritize a task, and follow the plan. While urgent situations may require a change of plan may occur, it should be an exception rather than a rule. Number two, focus on awareness. Frequently ask yourself the following question. This question. Will this blue chips activity help me realize my objectives? When others say that they practice a blue chips activity, everyone else understands that their commitment, ability, and focus must not be distracted by lesser important tasks. To help remind yourself of the importance of this activity, you may need to carry a blue chips card with you or place it on your desk where you can see it all the time. At the end of each day, review your activities. Did you spend enough time on your blue chips activities? Did you ignore the time robbing white chips? Have you effectively used your time by delegating the red chips to others? Many time robbing activities are simply bad habits. Your blue chips can help you break unproductive habits, which will keep you from attaining your significant goals and objectives. Lee Iacocca once said, and I quote, "The ability to concentrate and to use time well is everything." Now let's go back to the first step. Identify what is important. With this, allow me to relate to you the story of the empty jar. Perhaps you have already heard this story in my previous narrations. A time management expert gave a talk on the same subject to a group of business administration students. To drive home to a point, he stood in front of a class of high achievers and said, "Okay, it's time for a quiz." He placed a gallon-sized, wide-mouthed jar on his front table, produced a dozen of fist-sized rocks, and carefully placed them, one at a time, in the jar. When the jar was filled to the top and no more rocks would fit inside, he asked, "Is the jar full?" Everyone in the class said yes. The speaker asked, "Really? Are you sure?" Then he reached under the table and pulled out a bucket of gravel. He dumped some of the gravel in the jar and shook it to let the gravel work its way down in the spaces between the rocks. Then he asked the group once more, "Is the jar full?" This time the class was on him. "Probably not," one of them answered. "Good," the speaker said. He reached under the table again and put a good amount of sand into the jar, and it filled the spaces left between the big rocks and the gravel. Once again, he asked the same question, "Is the jar full?" The class shouted, "No." Once again, the speaker said, "Good." Then he grabbed a pitcher of water and began to pour it in until the jar could no longer hold any more. Then he looked up at the class and asked, "What do you think is the point in this demonstration?" One eager student raised his hand and said, "Sir, the point is, no matter how full your schedule is, if you try really hard, you can always fit some more things into it." "Wrong," the speaker replied. "That's not the point. What is exhibited in front of the class points out that if you don't put the big rocks first, you'll never get them in at all." What are the big rocks or goals in your life? How much important is it to you, and when do you wish to accomplish it? Whatever it is, you must put emphasis and focus on your most significant goals and purpose in life. Just make sure that everything is in balance. Remember to put these goals in your priorities, or you will never be able to fit them in at all in your life. Put first things first.